All right, we are live. Going with the vertical view this time. See if more people join. Got about a half hour before I have to cut the grass. So, answering all your questions, all your week one questions here. Well, week one recap questions, week two prep questions. So, bring it, baby. Anything you need to know. Could be personal questions, typically fantasy questions. I'm kind of an expert in streaming defenses and kickers. That's my shit. So how do we replace Kittle? What are we doing there? Are we going for the short-term option of Dalton Schultz? Are we going for the upside swing and Harold Fannin Jr.? A lot of good tight ends, man. A lot of good available tight ends. Might be the best tight end waiver week I've seen. That's, never usually a case. So Juwan Johnson's getting a lot of steam, dude. I don't know if I necessarily believe in Juwan Johnson. I have him everywhere in best ball. But we'll see. Somehow he played 72 snaps, which is just, that's like college numbers, dude. Chickaconquo available in 34% of leagues. Give me some Chickaconquo, baby. I'm into that. I am into that. Also, another deep name that I'm into is Michael Mayer. We don't know what's up with Brock Bowers. Haven't released anything. So it could be Michael Mayer season, man. Listen to some John Mayer while starting Michael Mayer. Yeah, I'm in. I am in for that. Get this audio set up. There we go. All right, we're all good. All right, just waiting on some people to join the stream, and we are going to get into all this stuff, all this week two stuff, start sit questions, streaming defense questions, tight end replacement questions, possible quarterback issues. Please, if you have Joe Burrow, do not panic, okay? Do not. I've heard some people in the previous streams be like, Joe Burrow or Dak Prescott or Joe Burrow or Justin Fields. As much as I love Fields, we're not going down that road yet. One bad week. You drafted Joe Burrow for an every week starter. He's still an elite guy. He's still an elite fantasy option. And I expect some big, big numbers here from Joe Burrow in week two. Pretty good matchup, too. I don't hate the matchup. Really don't hate it. So what do we got? Who has questions for the coffee drinking? I'm not drinking beer today, at least not early. So what do we got for start sit? What do we got for streaming defense? What do we got for season long trade options? All that shit. We're going to break it down here. testing out the new gear, see how it works. Be on tonight at midnight with my boy Story. Kind of just a little Q&A, but you know, we're getting into it. It's already week 2. Before long, it's gonna be week 7. Before that, it'll be fantasy playoffs. We'll be winning championships and thanking God that we drafted Justin Fields everywhere, because that looks like a big, big boom. And Tucker Kraft. Tucker Kraft's going to eat on Thursday Night Football. I love his props. Love his props, man. I think Tucker Kraft's at like 39 yards over under. Hey, Nick, we're back. What up? How do you feel about keeping or trying to trade Neighbors? I would not trade him. With how bad Russell Wilson looked, and we don't know how long he's going to start. It doesn't look like very long. You're not going to get equal value for Malik Neighbors. Guys, I don't want to trade right now is Nico Collins, Neighbors, AJ Brown, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. We don't want to trade low on guys. We want to trade when their stock's high, right? Higher than where you drafted them. So you're keeping Neighbors. He's still got 13 targets, dude. Like, the guy's going to average 10, 12 targets a game. It's going to get better too, whether it's with Russ, whether it's with Jackson Dart. We can hope. Here's the thing is, if Russell Wilson is this bad, I don't think they want to throw, because their schedule early in the year is so hard. I don't think that's comment up there. I don't think they're going to want to toss out Jackson Dart to the Wolves. I think we might see some Jameis Winston, baby. Now, if Jameis Winston's starting, Malik Neighbors is going to be like a top 3 weekly play, maybe top 2. I mean, Jameis Winston, Jerry Jeudy was a top 5 receiver last year when Jameis Winston played. So imagine Malik Neighbors with Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston is fantasy gold, baby. So I think there's a decent chance we get some Jameis, which would be awesome for the whole offense and good for the NFL, right? The NFL is more exciting when we get to watch Jameis Winston throw 400 yards, 3 interceptions, and 3 touchdowns. It's just great theater. It's just entertaining. We love that. We love that as football fans. Jackson Dart looks so good in preseason too. And I know it's just preseason and it's hard to just like equate that to what's going to happen in the regular season, but he can't be any worse than Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is just fucking awful now. Like, it's bad. He's as bad as Tua. But either way, Russ still knows where his bread is buttered. He needs to get the ball to Malik Neighbors. In a best ball league, my tight ends are on Njoku and Warren. Keeping Njoku or try to trade him for wide receiver or running back. 50 and 50. Who else can throw 5 TDs and 5 interceptions in a game? Only Jameis, baby. So your question is Njoku and Warren. Keep Njoku and try to trade him for. You want to keep Warren and try to trade Njoku, but you're not going to get much for Njoku. So if you're really hurting in another spot, I know it's crazy to do, but you could consider trading Warren, because I think you can get a haul for him. Now, you may regret that down the road, but you can't trade Njoku right now. Who's going to give you anything for David Njoku? Possibly, I guess if you can target the George Kittle team in your league, I think you could get something like that. Would be a nice. You can get like trying to think of an example of a player you could get. Probably not Keon Coleman. You can get like a Cedric Tillman or someone that was like a 10th round pick. But I would probably just roll with what you have. Bench ETN last week. Do I play him over Montgomery? Nick, don't drop Njoku for Juju. I would just hold on to Njoku. What if he comes out and has 7 catches next week? J Money, do we play him over Montgomery? Probably, dude. Although I'm pretty bullish on the Lions this week. The Lions play the Bears. They're at home. This is a must win for the Lions. Montgomery still played 40% of the snaps. I feel like Montgomery gets in the end zone. ETN will get more work, but I'm still a little curious to see. They made that trade. They traded Bigsby, right? So I'm a little bit curious to see what Tootin's workload is this week, because I think they trust him. So I think it's still ETN's job, but I think ETN's probably he's the upside play. Montgomery's the safe play. Like, Montgomery's going to get you 10 or 12 points. What up, Andre? Should I pick up Johnston or Io Manor off waivers? If you need a start for this week, like someone to start for this week, I think your play would be Johnston. I trust him more. I think long term for upside in a bench stash, I like Io Manor more, dude, because I get that the Chargers have a better offense than what the Titans do. But the Titans offense should ascend and increase every week. And Io Manor proved himself to be the number 2 in that offense, where Quentin Johnston is still the number 3. And you also have to worry about Trey Harris, man. They still drafted Trey Harris. I think it was the 2nd round in the NFL draft. So Trey Harris is going to slowly work in more. He played 6 snaps week 1. I think that Trey Harris is going to work in and kind of split with Quentin Johnston a little bit more than he has. And Quentin Johnston is just so inconsistent. Io Manor had 7 targets. He looks good. I loved him coming out of Stanford. I talked him up last night on the show. Me and Story have been talking Io Manor up since the NFL draft. He's exactly what that team needs because Calvin Ridley is not an X receiver. Okay. Every time he's been put in that position, you saw how bad Calvin Ridley was with the Jags, and they strictly had him running X receiver routes. Calvin Ridley is not physical enough to beat press, not big enough to make those contested catches. Io Manor comps as a great X receiver. So Tyler Lockett, they barely played. And this is week 1 against Denver. You would have thought Tyler Lockett would have been the one getting 80% of the snaps and Io Manor would be the 3rd piece. But week 1, that's so promising for Io Manor because, yeah, the numbers weren't great. He did have a 30-yard catch called back because of a penalty. I think it was a holding penalty. And then he had another 40-yard downfield throw that was a contested catch that he didn't make, but it was a tough catch. But promising usage, 7 targets. We love that. The snap share. I like the player. He's a sneaky good player. He should have been a 3rd or 2nd round pick in my mind out of Stanford. So yeah, I'm definitely in on Io Manor. What else do we have, boys? I am had about 3 cups of coffee. Didn't sleep much, man. At 2 a.m., I always stay up, and then I get all my defenses, kickers, and bench stashes, so I don't have to use waivers on them. So I was up till 4 o'clock in the morning, woke up at 8. But you know what? We good, bro. We good. Start Fannin or Strange. This Kittle injury killed my team. I think I'm going to start Strange, man. I know that sounds strange, but I'm more confident in his usage and his snap share than I am with Fannin. Fannin's a better long-term stash, but I'm still starting Strange. As a Titans fan, go for QJ. So you don't like Io Manor? This is a bench stash. If it was for this week or the next 2 weeks to start, if you have like a Xavier Worthy or something and you need a guy to start, it's QJ. But if we're talking long-term, it's Io Manor. Ooh, try to trade James Cook. So if you're trying to trade James Cook, we're looking at who you're going to get, but also we got to look at what team to target in the league. So you want to look at a team that has an Isaiah Pacheco. You want to look at a team that has Kenneth Walker. Got teams that are going to be needy at running back that still have some, but are question marks, right? I'm sure as a Pacheco and Walker owner, I have a couple spots of both of them. I'm worried that they might not be the starter there. So you want to target those teams and you'll get more back. You don't want to target a team that already has 2 studs like Gibbs and like Kyron Williams. They're not going to give you much for James Cook. So what receiver would be even with James Cook? I'm now Ibuka would be one, but you drafted him. He was a 6th, 7th round pick, and James Cook was a 3rd round pick. So we want to shoot a little higher. George, I'll get to your question here in a second. Let's talk this out in the chat. If you guys could help Andre out, I'm trying to think of a receiver that would be a good replacement if you want to trade James Cook. Who is even with that? I think you could buy low on a George Pickens. Let me go look in their ranks real quick. It's a really good question. Ooh, that's a good one. Andre, Nico Collins. I mean, dude, if you can get Nico Collins, I was thinking that there's just no way. Like, that'd be a stupid trade for the Nico owner. I think you can look at... Let's see. Oh, you could look at JSN, but I mean, he has been crushing it. Cortland Sutton would be a good one. T. Higgins. I think T. Higgins. T. Higgins is the one. T. Higgins. We're going T. Higgins. That's the guy to target. So we got, hey man, someone offered me Ridley for Jacoby Myers. Yes. Get Ridley right now, baby. You're buying low and selling high. That's a great trade, George. You do that all day, especially he offered that to you. You could maybe try to get a 2 for 2 and get a little upgrade on your bench, but that's a win for you, man. Kevin Ridley is better. Ooh, AJ Brown. I mean, dude, if you could pull AJ Brown, any of the receivers that went in the top 3 rounds, I think you would do. DK'd be okay as well. Good call. You can't trust Pickens as a wide receiver 1. I understand that. Ibuka owner has Kamara, Chase, and Brown. Kamara and Chase Brown. Yeah, you can't do that. Look for T. Higgins, man. I think T. Higgins is a good one. Genty, Bucky. You have Genty, Bucky, Sampson, and Mason. Yeah, that's fine, dude. Let's see. As a Jamar owner, would you do a Mecca, Ibuka, Terry McLaurin, and Gibbs for Jamar, or Buka, McLaurin, and Gibbs? I don't know if I get your question. Are you saying would you trade Jamar for those guys? Yeah, Myers is solid, man, but Ridley's the number 1 there. Like Brock Bowers going to take so many targets. They still like Thornton. They have Genty. No problem, George. In waivers, should I go Samson or QJ in PPR? Samson or QJ? I think you go Samson just because we don't know about Judkins yet in case he gets suspended. It's tough. If you have to play a guy this week, it might still be Samson. Andre, would you trade Cook for Hendy and JMO? Oh, fuck yeah, bro. Fuck yeah. How deep is the league, dude? How deep is... I'm going to put the trade up there. You guys can see it. How deep is the league? It's Ibuka, McLaurin, and Gibbs, dude. Like Gibbs and Jamar went back-to-back in drafts. So you're getting free. I mean, you're not even trading low on Jamar. You're trading high on Jamar. So how deep is the league? Is it like 12 teams? Dude, that's a smash. I would do that for just Ibuka and Gibbs. Or I would do that just for McLaurin and Gibbs. Honestly, Ibuka and McLaurin, if you take Gibbs out of the trade, I probably wouldn't do that. But 10 person. I still do that, man. And then what you do is you flip 1 or 2 of the other guys. Because Gibbs and Jamar Chase aren't really that far off to me. Yeah, Cook dominated last year. He's going to be so touchdown reliant, but how many opportunities he's going to have? I think one of the nice things is that we expected Ray Davis to be more involved, and he didn't have a lot of snaps. Now, unfortunately, Ty Johnson had a lot of snaps, but the thing about James Cook is he's never going to be more than like a 55, 56% snap share player, but that percentage on the Bills is equivalent to an 80% snap player in terms of like Ashton Genty. Like he's going to have the same production. Yeah, 10 person's fine though, dude. If it was an 18 league, I'd say no. But I mean, dude, Gibbs was drafted 3rd overall this year, 4th overall. Chase was 1 overall. So that's pretty close there. If you needed a running back, I would consider doing that straight up. And you're just getting Ibuka and Terry McLaurin. And then you got to try to trade Ibuka because his stock's high. And then you could flip him and somebody else and just really upgrade. I mean, I wouldn't sell Jamar either, but the thing is he's not selling him low. He's getting Jahmyr Gibbs, Ibuka, and Terry McLaurin. Like, that's just a haul, bro. I know it's Jamar. I understand it's Jamar, but you're still getting Jahmyr Gibbs. Like, are we panicking on Jahmyr Gibbs right now? I'm not personally panicking on Jahmyr Gibbs. Do I drop Loveland for Fannin Jr.? Do you have anyone else to drop? Because unfortunately, Fannin Jr. could be in the same situation as Loveland in terms of a wait and see. Gesicki? Ooh, no. We don't want any. What up, CK? I had Jamar Chase, James Cook, Gibbs, Brock Bowers, and Trey McBride last year. Was a good year. That seems like a ship right there, baby. Trey McBride, Gibbs, Bowers. Oh my God. As long as you didn't have like the worst quarterback in the world, I think you win without a quarterback. That roster doesn't even need to start a quarterback. You just win. You just say, fuck it. I'm going to stick it to you guys. Oh, you dropped Gesicki for Fannin. Yeah, good call. That's a good one because Gesicki's toast, man. He played the third most snaps of any tight end on the Bengals. Gesicki will still have his weeks, but typically last year, if you look at Gesicki's numbers, all of his boom weeks came in the 4 games that T. Higgins missed. Oh, don't you hate that, bro? That's why in my leagues, my home leagues, I always give it's usually $250 buy-in. I always do $250 for top points because it's so stupid that when you dominate the league all year and then you get like second or third place, at least then you're getting an extra 250 and you're going to get the second place money, so it almost evens out. I hate wasting waiver on quarterback, but Buddy dropped Williams. I don't want to waiver Caleb Williams personally. Yeah, $600. You know what? I guess if you ask me if it was like, would I rather have, it's like the Buffalo Bills situation in the 90s. Would you rather have, if you played 6 leagues, would you rather win 1 out of 6 and then not place in the other ones? Or would you rather have 3 second places? I think I'd rather have 3 championship losses because I know the ship is nice, but like getting there, dude, that's a 1-game sample. Like that's why I don't like the fantasy football format. It's accurate to what NFL is 1 game. I prefer the leagues, and I used to do a couple of these where it's a 2-week fantasy matchup. Each matchup is 2 weeks. Unfortunately, that makes the regular season a lot shorter. But I do like that because 2 weeks, the better team will win. 1 week, any team could win. You could have 2 of your players leave in the first quarter, and you're fucked. Williams isn't good. Passed up wide open dudes in the flat. Fucking coward. Williams will be fine for fantasy. I just don't want to use a waiver spot on him. We have Andre Hampton or Genty rest of the season. It's Genty by a mile. I have not been high on Hampton all pre-draft season, in terms of pre-fantasy draft season. Don't let the snap share fool you in terms of what we saw from Hampton. He played 80% of the snaps, but that was Najee's first game back. He barely practiced. This is going to be a 60-40 split. So Genty literally, Mostert was inactive. So Genty's going to get all the run in the world. It's going to be Chase Brown level usage in terms of a snap share and touch share. So Genty's the dude. Won a $50 pot for most points each week. Ooh, I kind of like that. Yeah, the drop ads. I hate playing those leagues because I'm one of the most active fantasy managers. So like it just fucks me. And like I like churning my bench, right? Each week, churning my bench, finding like that diamond in the rough, right? And like just finding the new handcuff running backs and guys like that could be relevant. I could drop Wandale or Tillman, but also have Jonnu Smith, so I can afford to wait on Loveland. I would drop Wandale, not Tillman. And honestly, I think you could maybe drop Jonnu Smith. I would just drop Wandale, though. Like, you want to start the ancillary weapon on the Giants? Brendan Rice, rate my team. Burrow, Nico, JSN, Ridley, A-Chain, Chase Brown, Tyler Warren, Flex Pickens. That's a good team, man. I'm going to give that an A-. Is Kendra Miller worth a stash? 100% CK. 100%. I mean, there's better. I'd rather have DJ Giddens. I'd rather have Blake Corum. But he's kind of moving to that, I don't know, you want to call it like elite must-have handcuff range, but he looked good. Alvin Kamara's old, so we have Quentin Johnson or Pickens week 2. This is 100% Pickens. Don't panic on that. Don't look at the box score. Pickens played damn near 90% of the snaps. He's going to be just fine. Quentin Johnson, I don't want to start him. He's going to come out and go 3 for 20 at best. Benches should be churned, Craig. We want to do that. We don't want to keep guys like this year, DeAndre Hopkins on our bench. There's no upside. There's no upside there. Rashad Bateman. Like we want Alec Iomanner on our bench that could become the one if there's an injury and has already earned the number 2 role there. There could be a chance that that's his team. Let's look at that team again and see if it's possible. Burrow, Nico, JSN, Ridley, A-Chain. So he'd have to take Nico and Chase Brown. I mean, A-Chain fell to the 3rd round. That could have happened if someone was worried about the injury, and then Burrow would be the 4th round pick. That's the only way I'm thinking it could happen. Or he made a trade. That's a really good team, though. I know he's the most guaranteed 10 points ever, but like, do I really care about 10 points I'm always shooting for upside more. I know Wan'Dale's solid. Don't get me wrong. Wando will be better he'll be fine as long as Russell's starting. Johnson is a flash in the pan. I agree. Trade Pearsall for Pollard. Need running backs. Oh, that's so tough, man. Pollard's gonna be awesome in terms of his touch and the touch percentage the next 4 weeks until Tajay Spears comes back. That's pretty close. I would probably do that if you need a running back. Andre, if JT gets hurt, Giddens gonna explode. Hey, JT's already nicked up. I think it's a hamstring. They didn't really say anything about it, but it's something. I mean, Nick, that one-handed snag by D-Hop, that was vintage D-Hop, but the problem is he didn't even get his first snap until midway through the second quarter. They still like Bateman there. You're going to get Likely coming back into the fold. It's just going to be a tough situation. Like, you're just banking on touchdowns, right? Craig says Fields is still being underrated. I mean, if you watch this channel going back to June or July, we've been talking about that was one of our pillar players. I wish I had more Justin Fields. I was getting Baker Mayfield in the 10th round. I think I have 4 or 5 Field shares in 25 leagues. I have him at like 30% of best balls though. And my wife is in 10 leagues. She's a savage like me. I think I drafted Fields for her like 5 times. So she's sitting pretty. I traded Jamar. So that was that trade. What did you get again, Brendan? What did you get for that? How bad would it be to go Danny Dimes versus Broncos? That would be bad. I would not do that. Don't do that. What do you think about Ricky? Pearsall? I love Pearsall. Juwan Jennings is banged up. Kittle's out for 4 weeks. Even if it's Mac Jones starting, I don't care. Ricky's a wide receiver 2 this week. Creations, my home league 9th pick, 12 team in order. Genty, Neighbors, Chase Brown, Hampton, Harrison, McMillan. Ooh. Ridley, Harvey, Warren, and Buka. Fuck. It's a good team. That's what happens when you wait at quarterback. Andre, is Penix a decent start this week? That is all going to depend on the health of Drake London. So if Drake London plays, I'd say so. Borderline startable, like borderline top 14 guy, top 12 guy. If Drake London's out, you can't start Penix. I don't think you can. Dude, I got my wife into she started 2 years ago, did 1 league and won it with the worst team ever. Her starting roster she had so many injuries. Mostly because every team she played in the playoffs scored like 100 points. Last year, she played 4 leagues, went to 3 championships, and won 1. So she's played 4 leagues, dude, and she's gone to the championship game. She played 4 last year. She's played 5 leagues. She's gone to the championship in 4 of them and won 2 championships. Now, they're like Fantrax public leagues, and they're like $50 to $100 buy-ins, where I always play like the 250 and 500s. So lesser competition. I draft her teams, and then we kind of manage them together through the year. But next year, I think she's ready to start drafting like most of her teams herself. NFL sucks dick. What the hell? Ryan Tannehill. We got a celebrity in the chat. I'm going to keep that chat up there because that's pretty funny. How did Chase Brown fall that far? Yeah, Chase Brown was a top 14, top 15 pick in every one of mine. Oh, Craig, you got Mooney. Fuck London. Drake London's a stud, bro. Unfortunately, we got that AC joint sprain, which, if you recall, is what CeeDee Lamb was playing through last year. It can be played through, but the problem is Drake London's such a physical receiver that it's dangerous. Ooh, Andre, I love this question. Do you like Jaden Daniels rushing yards tomorrow? I saw it was still low. When I looked at it when they first released it, it was like 48, I think, right? Was that what it's at? It probably went up to 51 is my guess. I don't think I'm betting it straight up. I'll probably throw in a parlay. So I don't know if you watched, but I think you were on the earlier streams last week. Jaden Daniels was one of my bets of the week last week, and it was he was at 42.5 when I bet it. I think it went up to 45 by game time, but he had 6 rushing yards. So, I mean, generally, I'm especially against a pass rush like the Packers. I get it, dude. The London thing. Unfortunately, 18 of my leagues are Fantrax public leagues, and there is no trades in those. So it sucks. Drake London's a really tough dude. It's not what you want to hear. So I don't know what the better option is. Would we want Drake London rested 2 weeks to come back and have a full healthy season, or do you want him to gut it out? Because that's a little dangerous, bro. Got a good one. This is a tough one. Do I start Debo Samuel or Devontae Adams full PPR? Well, we are going to consult. This is so tough. I am going to consult Fantasy Pros, what they have. My first inkling, what do you guys think in the chat? I think you still start Devontae Adams, bro. I think you do. We have Debo at, where's Debo? They have Adams at 20, and they have Debo down at 35. So not that I just look at that, but if it's a deciding factor, I still go Adams there, personally. Debo is going to start hot. He was always going to start hot this year with McLaurin, kind of easing his way back in. But you got other options there, man. I think that Devontae Adams, you roll with your stud. You roll with the guy you drafted earlier, right? Good call, Andre. I'd want him rested for sure, but the Falcons don't want to go 0-2. That's probably the case because I know 0-2 isn't the worst in the world, but it's also not good. If you guys like what you're seeing, I'm going to be doing these almost every day. Definitely late nights. I like to do the late night streams. I get a couple beers in me. I want to talk football. Give me a like. Give me a sub. I'd appreciate that. I'm going to start having my podcast partner now that I have the computer, all my technology shit figured out. I'm going to start having him on here on the streams. He's really knowledgeable. He's also a big college football guy. So he knows a lot about prospects and deep guys. Like he's the one that turned me on to IO Manor. I'm trying to buy low on Nico as well, man. Unfortunately, I have a lot of Nico shares, so it's hard for me to buy in my home leagues. Vic says, what do I think of Harold Fannin Jr.? I think that the hype train has gone too far. I love him long-term. I love him like not so much dynasty, but this year long-term. Later in the season, they're probably going to trade Njoku, shut Njoku down, phase Njoku out. But next week, like I'm starting Njoku over Fannin everywhere. If I don't have any Njoku, I have probably 4 or 5 Fannins now. I'm gonna look to not start Fannin if I can help it, just because we just don't know what the usage is going to be. Again, I said this earlier. The Browns ran 72 fucking plays against the Bengals, and now they play the Ravens, who are a ball control team. Would it surprise you if they end up only running 40 plays? I mean, it didn't really eat. You're talking about Noah Brown, and we're talking about the fuck's the guy that went to the Jags? Diami Brown. Whoa, we got Brennan flip Jamar for JSN and Chase Brown. Good for you, man. That's funny that he had a bad week and you still got probably as long as it's a 12-team league, I like it. In a 10-teamer, it's tough to flip the best player in fantasy. We got CK, Jacoby Myers or Travis Hunter for stash/bye weeks. I mean, Travis Hunter, baby. I know Jacoby Myers looks good. He's a safer play, but I think Hunter has more upside. Well, the Bears' run D actually was pretty stout, man. So I think Gibbs' value is more in the passing game this year. What were the options down forward punch? What streaming quarterbacks do I like? I mean, Justin Fields, if he's considered a streamer. Should I start McDaniel or Fields? Is that Jaden Daniels or Fields? I would start Daniels over Fields. Andre, Raheem Morris said London is expected to play. I mean, dude, if he's fine, we don't know the extent of it. We don't. It sucks that it's concerning he didn't come back into that game when it was, close and like whatever. I know he missed the play when it happened. He should have caught that touchdown, but he got crunched. But then they got the ball back and a chance to win, and he didn't play that drive. So you're starting Daniels, bro. I know it's a tough matchup. I know it's a tough matchup against Green Bay, and it's Thursday Night Football, which is dangerous. You start your dudes, man. You start your dudes. I mean, Justin Fields, the thing is, you got to look to make a deal, because how often are you going to want to start Justin Fields over Jaden Daniels? You'll probably make the wrong decision more times than not. trade Justin Fields. Or if you're loving Justin Fields, see what you can get for Daniels, dude. If you could pull a JSN or a T Higgins or something and you need receivers, or you can pull a 3rd round running back for Daniels, you do that. T-Law, Geno Smith, A-Rod, or Stafford. I'm going T-Law. I think T-Law, good matchup against the Bengals. I'm going T-Law there. I know it's gross to start Trevor Lawrence. Like, I don't advise that too often, but yeah, I'm going T-Law. No trades in my leagues. Too much collusion last year. Dude, I've had this issue so many times in my leagues, like, to where the collusion is not so much the trades are bullshit. It's that people veto every trade that they're not involved in. And there's a lot of trades, let's be honest, in fantasy, there's a lot of trades that help both teams. And people don't like that. If they're not involved, they don't want two teams. If a team has, Justin Fields and Jaden Daniels, the team that wants to just trades Justin Fields for a little less than market value, because why would they want 2 quarterbacks? Or they drafted Tyler Warren and they have another elite tight end. It helps both teams. So people just veto those trades. So I think the best way to do it is you just have no vetoes, but unfortunately now you're opening yourself up to like actual collusion to where you can't veto the trade. So my rule in my league is when you're eliminated from the playoffs and you're, 2-8, you're not allowed to make trades. So that helps the collusion factor. And then if you have guys that are actually going to collude when they're both, like give up their best players when they're in the playoff hunt, you don't want those guys in your league anyway. CK, you starting Fannin if you have him? No, not if I can help it, man. I would rather start Dalton Schultz than Harold Fannin Jr. this week. That sounds gross, bro, but that's what I'm doing, man. I want the guy I know is going to play every snap. It's a good one from Craig. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, like quarterbacks in terms of who you're starting it's such a touchdown dependent stat. So like we can have games where Jared Goff is the biggest example of this, where they put up 40 points and Goff throws for 330 yards, and then Montgomery has 2 touchdowns and Gibbs has a touchdown, and you only get 330 and a touchdown. There's other games though where Jared Goff throws for $190 but has 4 touchdowns. So I mean, there's no right way to do the trade thing. I think the right way to do it is play with people you fucking respect that aren't gonna to disrespect the league and cause like a ruckus, because that's just stupid, man. If you play with the same guys for so many years, like you kind of know what to expect from these people. But bringing new guys in the league, having like brothers in a league, they're way more likely to collude. I played with brothers forever, and it was bullshit, man. Any word on Worthy? No, man, they haven't said anything. I'm guessing that might be good news, because if they were opting for surgery, I think they would have said it by now. Brendan says, 12-man league. After I did that, I flipped JT for Nico and Warren. Is that Tyler Warren or Jalen Warren? Either way, that's probably fine. I'd prefer it would be Tyler Warren. Gaddis says, streaming tight end this year after drafting Bowers last year. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good options streaming tight ends. For me, it was I want either Bauer. I only have 1 Bauer share. I think I have 5 or 6 Trey McBride shares because I was getting him in the 6th round. If I didn't get one of those 2 guys, I have 0 Kittle because he was going in like the early 4th. If I didn't get Tucker Kraft or Tyler Warren, I was punting, and I took Dalton Kincaid and Ferguson and Goddard, guys like that. You got Ibuka, Wilson, or Ridley in the flex. I keep going back and forth. Well, that's a really good fucking problem to have, man. I think you have to start Ibuka. As much as I love Garrett Wilson, I think you have to start Ibuka. Good matchup this week. He looks like that dude. So, you got Tyler Warren and Nico for JT. Love that, man. And I love JT, but it'd be nice if you can get Giddens. If you have an open spot, grab Giddens. If JT ends up getting hurt, you might get all 3 of them. You might get 80% of JT from Giddens, and you have Nico and Warren. Chiefs like taking out their number 1 receivers. Yeah, no shit. They take them out more than the opponents do. No problem, Jimmy. I like saying Jimmy. Well, hopefully you guys like the show. I'm gonna be staying on here for a little longer, but if you'd like to subscribe, Check out, we have a lot of good stuff on the channel, man. Stuff other than fantasy football too, but I'm gonna be going live almost every day. A lot of late night streams around midnight. So we're gonna start having my podcast partner, my football guy, Mike Story on. He's almost as knowledgeable as me, but unfortunately I play. Yeah, TB, you were right about the vertical. I had to try it out. Good call. I play a lot more leagues than he does, but he's a college football guy, my guy Story. So we have a nice blend of, he's more of a player. He knows a lot more about these players in terms of the young guys. He's the one that turned me on Io Manor. Brendan says, I did a lot of trading, then I flipped Pearsall for Calvin Ridley. Yeah, that's probably fair. I mean, Pearsall looks like awesome early in the season. The issue is eventually Kittle comes back. Jawan Jennings is going to get a little healthier, and you're talking about bringing Ayuk back in the fold. So you possibly could have waited a little longer to trade Pearsall because I think his value is only going to go up. He looked good week 1, man. I like Pearsall. I like Pearsall a lot. So TB, you don't mind the vertical stream? You think the other one probably looks better, but is this fine, you think? Because I can still do the vertical stream when I have my buddy on for the Zoom call, which is cool. That's my thing. I need to make sure I have him on here. He's that Story, the guy that's been moderating the chat. He's even a better talker than me. That guy's a fucking pro, dude. He's like a public speaker. Enunciates very well. Well, hell yeah, TB. TB is like the biggest advocate of this channel, man. I'm glad you ended up finding me. This is the 4th year of this channel, so I just haven't been going live, and like it's a lot of the videos get like 100 fucking views, and I put fucking hours into editing these things. So the live stream's nice because it's way less work on my end. Although I do enjoy editing, man. Jimmy says, I lost Kittle. Who you taking off waivers? 12-team league. I mean, Fannon's probably already gone. I would probably pick Dalton Schultz is probably my selection because Cade Stover, who was the tight end 2 there, is out now for the year. So he's going to get all the snaps. He already was playing a lot of snaps. You have Christian Kirk, unlikely to play this week. You have Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel are both rookie receivers they don't trust. And they're playing Xavier Hutchinson, who's a second-year receiver. Ironically enough, their 3 ancillary receivers are all out of Iowa State. So there's not a lot of weapons there, dude. And their offensive line's so bad. Like Dalton Schultz is such a nice security blanket. And I see 6-7 targets at least for Dalton Schultz the next couple of weeks. And he's probably the number 2 red zone option. Maybe number 3 if you want to count Nick Chubb as number 2. Yeah, give me Dalton Schultz, dude. He's available everywhere. There's some other options, though. I have him. Let's see. There's definitely some other options. Juwan Johnson's a hot name. I still prefer Dalton Schultz over Juwan Johnson. Give me a player on the Texans over a player on the fucking Saints. Chickaconquo, if Chickaconquo is available, I'm in on Chickaconquo. You could wait if you want to pick up Schultz, and for some reason we get news that Brock Bowers is missing week 2. Now, unfortunately, this would just be a one or 2 week rental, but Michael Mayer looked really good. So yeah, grab Schultz. Thank me later, baby. 10 points incoming. That's all you want, right? You're not going to get elite tight end production, but I don't want to take like a 2 or 3 points for my tight end. And we've seen Dalton Schultz be good before. He's old, but like, I mean, Zach Ertz is terrible. Like he can't move anymore. I don't know if you saw that clip of him last year. It kind of went viral of him trying to like hurdle a dude, and his vertical was like 8 inches. Like my dick was almost as big as Zach Ertz vertical, and that was last year. So now I think if the over under is my dick bigger than Zach Ertz vertical jump? Could he jump over my cock? I don't want to try that out because if he doesn't, I'm going to have a dislocated penis. Fun fact, Dennis Rodman once dislocated his dick. You have to be really big for that, though. When a girl's riding you and it slips out and it jams down on it. 24, we got, do we have faith in Henderson as a starter? Man, yes, I do, but it's going to take a while, dude. It's going to take a while to get, he played fucking 35% of the snaps. So Stevenson's still going to be the starter there, but it was alarming because they were playing from behind, and Henderson's the better pass catching back and better in pass pro, but he's still a rookie. I give it a couple weeks, but I think you're still starting Henderson. Adam says, I had offered Nico and Quinshon Judkins for Ja'Cory Croskey Merritt and Calvin Ridley. Yeah. As long as you're not hurting at running back too much, but you're getting Quinshon. Definitely hit that one, dude. Definitely take that trade. You're trading low on Nico Collins, who was a borderline first round pick in fantasy drafts. I'm still not a big JCM guy. I'm probably gonna eat my word. Bill's your RB4. Yeah. You do that right now, and then you can flip one of your other receivers. So that's an easy smash there, Adam. Do that one, baby. We want to do that. We love trading. We love having people panic fucking week 1, and that's what you want, dude. Buy low on these players. Isn't that great that the Browns not only have the Judkins fiasco, and whether that was all bullshit, right? Like a Trevor Bauer situation, and then Isaiah Bond, who should have been a 3rd or 4th round pick. Like, he was a better prospect than Matthew Golden by all counts. And then he goes undrafted, and he's a very, very flawed character guy. And they bring in Isaiah Bond. I think the Browns are just saying, fuck it. We did the Deshaun Watson thing. Our reputation's shit. We're tarnished. Let's just bring in all the fucking scrubs. No problem, Adam. Hopefully you subscribe. Check out the channel, man. Be doing this a lot. My buddy's going to be coming on. He's super knowledgeable. I play 25 leagues, so there's no one really probably more in tune with the fantasy markets right now. I still actually watch a lot of other shows too, just to get other takes. But I trust my gut, and I think a lot of people overreact on those shows. The problem is it's clickbait. Like, I'm not trying to. I'm just telling you what I would do in terms of like what I would do in my leagues that I play. I have $7,000 on the line, $7,500 in fantasy football this year. That's just like in fantasy leagues and best ball, not to count all the gambling. So, what up, Jared? Thank you, Adam. Put that up there. I appreciate you, dude. You won't regret it, man. We do giveaways too. If I could actually start making some fucking money on this, I'm about to be monetized. Yeah, well, it's funny. I said I'm about to be monetized. Hopefully there's no ads. I hate that. I don't have any sponsors. Although today we're sponsored by Keystone Lights. If you're poor and you want to get drunk, hit up some Keystone Light. No, I don't have any sponsors. Funny story though, bro. Back when we first started the show, we had a fake. We wanted a fake goldfish sponsor because we always eat goldfish. It was like 3 a.m. We'd be drunk on the pod, and we were joking that they were gonna like find, because our shit was like wacky, bro. We just get hammered and talk about a bunch of random shit, and we're like, Goldfish is gonna like sue us because they don't want to be associated with this product. Jared, what do you think of the first 2 weeks of college football? That would be more a question for my boy Story. He's like plays 5 college fantasy football leagues and like gambles on it. I pay attention a little bit, mostly to kind of scout some of these prospects, but I watch the big games. My biggest takeaway is Arch Manning. I know it was 1 game, but that was fucking rough, bro. He's a Manning and he'll still be drafted top 3 overall, but I mean, his pocket awareness didn't look great. He had some fucking really wild, like Caleb Williams-esque throws. Ohio State's going to be a monster. Like, they spend the most money, dude, every year now. They can spend money. So I hate that. I love the fact that players are getting paid now. They should have always got paid, but now it's even more of an uneven playing field. It's like Major League Baseball, where you have Yankees and Red Sox and Dodgers spending fucking $350-400 million. You got a team like the Rays and the White Sox spending $50 million. So it's going to be hard. Like, that's what they want, though, right? They want the big teams in. Now you have 12 teams in the fantasy playoffs, or the BC, not the BCS, but whatever it is, the college football playoffs. So you're going to have 8 of those teams, no matter what. They're always going to get in. Alabama and Clemson is always going to get in. Oregon's going to get in. Facts, bro. Go Michigan. Yeah. What did you think of JJ McCarthy's debut? If you're a Michigan guy, it was a bad start, dude. That was fucking rough. But you know what? That was one of the biggest things that people liked about JJ McCarthy was his resolve. He's a team guy. He's a scrappy guy. He's a winner. And that doesn't always translate. But when you go to Kevin O'Connell, like, that's good because he's got enough talent. I don't think he's a super talented guy, but I mean, I'd say he's Baker Mayfield level talented. I mean, the third and fourth quarter was elite, bro. But that start was like an F. That was an F. Throwing ducks. Every pass he got was tipped at the line. Looked a little small, but he's pretty mobile, dude. I'm kind of in on JJ McCarthy. I will say I'm not in on JJ McCarthy for fantasy. I have him as my quarterback 2 in a super flex, but other than that, I don't think he's trusted. They do, and when they get Addison back, I guess for me, I was really concerned about Hawkinson's film watching that game. Hawkinson looked like Kelsey out there, dude. He can't move. And he's only 28. So and the problem with Hawkinson is where Kelsey's still going to have good touchdown equity, 7-8 touchdown upside, like an Andrew situation. Hawkinson's never been a touchdown guy. I don't think he's ever had more than 4 touchdowns in a year. So if you're not getting, the upside of touchdowns every week, what are you getting from TJ Hawkinson? 4 for 40? I mean, he couldn't even do that week 1. Green Bay is the play, bro, because I mean, you saw the Lions, their offensive line is not what it was. They're missing Ben Johnson. Jared Goff, it cannot operate without a line. I mean, I still don't panic on Hawkinson. If you have Hawkinson, you're playing him. Give it a couple weeks, but I didn't take Hawkinson anywhere. Like not even in any of my 400 best balls. I think I had like 2% Hawkinson in those and nothing in redraft. So I didn't like that range of tight ends in the 6th, 7th round. I didn't like that. I waited on Warren and Kraft. And then, if I really waited, I took Dalton Kincaid and Ferguson. Now, Kincaid, I'm still a little worried about. He got outsnapped by Dawson Knox. All right, I got a couple more minutes on here, boys. I have to go cut the grass. So, gotta do some stuff when my wife gets home. She'll be like, what the fuck were you doing all morning? I was like, jerking off, doing live streams, all the good stuff. Have you guys ever had it where, I don't know if you guys are married or have girlfriends or live with a woman, but she's gone. You haven't been having sex that much. So you tug it before she gets home, and then she comes home and she wants to fuck. And you're just like, oh fuck, dude. Like I am empty. You got to do it though, because otherwise you can't be like, sorry, honey, I just jerked off. She's going to get pissed at you. And like, how many opportunities do we have of girls coming on to us? Usually we have to make the move. So, I mean, I've been with women that do make the first move a lot, but yeah, that's an interesting situation. You just have to roll with it and fluff it up a little bit. Chiefs could start 0-2, Jared. Chiefs probably will start 0-2, bro. I mean, that's a bad matchup. That's a really bad matchup against the Eagles. And the Eagles are not going to show any mercy. They fucking hate the Chiefs. And I think we all hate the Chiefs. Let's be honest. We all hate Taylor Swift. Fuck that. I used to actually not have a problem with Taylor Swift. And I didn't mind her music. And she's kind of annoying and a whiner. And just like ripping on all the celebrity guys she dates in her songs. But fuck that, dude. I'm so annoyed. It's so annoying. Good for them, though. I did think it was like a farce. I thought it was kind of like a scam relationship. But apparently it's real. I do know they're both making like way more money than they were before because of this. So, but it's like, dude, how much more money do you need, Taylor Swift? Like, fuck, share some for the rest of us. Fucking greedy bitch. TB, unless the refs have something to say. I mean, I've always thought that was a little overblown. I know they do get more calls, but, they put themselves in good positions to get calls. But, dude, the Eagles are a primetime team, too. It's not like they want the Eagles to lose. I know they want the Chiefs to be relevant, and the Chiefs will be relevant. Like, a bad year for the Chiefs this year. We got to let the cards fall a little bit. You got to wait till you get Rice back. They're still going to win 9 or 10 games and sneak into the playoffs. The AFC is really top-heavy, but I feel like the NFC is deeper. So, like, 9 wins is probably going to get you that last wild card spot. Nice call, 24. All right, you guys got anything else for me before I get off? Got one from Rob. 2 flex spots start sit. Olave, Hunter, Hollywood, or Pittman. You got to sit Pittman this week. That's an automatic. He's got Surtain. We saw it happen with Calvin Ridley. I'm starting Olave for sure. Olave at 13 targets. We are starting Olave, and I think if Worthy's out, I think you start Hollywood. Although that's close, man. I'm a big Travis Hunter guy. If you watched, it was only 6 for 34 or whatever, 6 for 30 yards, 6 catches. But all those were schemed up touches. They were all schemed up touches. And I'm a big fan of, he doesn't play 80, 90% of the snaps, but when he's in there, they're looking his way. So, and I like the matchup against the Bengals. So I'd probably start Hunter. You could go Hollywood. Hollywood probably has a safer floor. Hunter has a higher upside. AFC, they say could go through Buffalo or Ravens. I mean, those are the two favorites. That's what the league wants to. I think they know that everyone has Chiefs fatigue. So I think ideally they want the Chiefs to lose to Josh Allen or lose to Lamar Jackson. Sneaky team could be, I would say, maybe the Chargers. Is your camera a potato, my dude? Is it really that bad? Kermit ketamine, or are you on ketamine? Because if you're on ketamine, it might affect that a little bit. TB, is the camera really that bad? I trust TB's opinion. We got Tyreek to the Chiefs. How likely? I put it at, I would say that's the most likely destination if he gets traded. But looks like a webcam from 2008. Well, that's fine. It doesn't show, it's not like HD. I'm fine with that, dude. I have a something coming to have it better, but this is all I got for now. So that's fine, Chris F. You can rip on it. That's cool. This is about the content. Are you looking? I'm not a supermodel, dude. Like, it doesn't matter what you see, right? It's about the contents. It's about the chat. It's about the fucking community, son. We want that community. Thanks, 24. See, positivity, baby. I can handle the hate though. I'm cool with it. I have the Pats sneak in playoff team or Chargers. I mean, the Pats look shitty, and the only reason their win total at 8.5 this year was so high is because they're terrible, terrible, terrible. They have a really good strength of schedule, actually. But the Pats look terrible, man. Drake May looked worse than Caleb. I know it was only one game, but he's erratic, bro. Although I will say, one of my bets of the week, it hasn't came out yet. Drake May's rushing yards. He had 11 rushing yards and 4 scrambles in week 1. I'm guessing it's going to be set at like 24.5. Hammer that over, bro. Drake May's going to have 40 yards rushing. We want to see her handsome self in 4K. Oh, thanks, kid. We're going to get that. We're going to get that. Give it a couple days. I have my my extra Android phone here that I use for the podcast editing and shit. I'm going to see if I could figure that out because that has a really good camera. May looks really bad. His numbers, Chris, looked okay. But if you watch that film, it was bad. TB is my guy. He's the doctor. No, so now TB has two titles on this fucking stream, man. He's the doctor of the stream, and he is my like production assistant, right? What's up, Steve? I only got a couple more minutes on here, unfortunately. I can maybe do 10 more minutes. I have to cut the grass. Take a shower after that, too. I will be on at midnight tonight with my boy Story. He's been on the chat being the moderator, but he is actually going to be on live in person. Not actually live here, but wow, look at this. Look at this chat. Your mama looking up at me on her knees, waiting for that white Canada. Dude, hell yeah, dude. My mom's a whore. So this would not be news to me if she's on her knees waiting for you. So, hey, man, go to town, bro. She's 65 years old. So, I mean, I don't know if you're into that, but she's not a bad looking lady. I'll admit it. What do you think of Aaron Rodgers 4 TDs? I think it's hilarious. If you saw his post game, he took a lot of shots on the Jets organization. So I am happy for him doing that because fuck the Jets. And I think both those teams won, but it's not going to happen. I wouldn't bank on that happening very often. But how do I think Dak played? I think his fantasy numbers were way worse than what it was in real life. If you watch the game, he looked good. He looked rather healthy, and he's not fast anymore, but he looked somewhat spry compared to what he looked like last year. He's got the weapons. Dak's going to be just fine, dude. Just fine. Snowman's really hitting my mom hard. I got the one hand jam going, playing with one hand, thinking about what your mama going to make a mess. Hey, dude, I'm cool with it, bro. You can't phase me. Like, I'm happy that you're going to bang my mom. I mean, that's fine. You seem like a nice enough guy. I'm getting hot water going, bubble bath with your mom. So refreshing. Oh, man. Thanks, dude. I lost Kittle. My choices are Goddard, Pitts, or Fannin. I think Goddard's probably your safe play for the next couple of weeks, but Pitts is not bad, bro. We have a banged up Drake London. Pitts was on the field. If Mooney is out, if we get news that Mooney's out week 2, unfortunately, you're looking for a 4-week replacement, so it's probably Pitts. You're fine with all those guys. Yeah, Snowman, you're a goon, but it's all good, bro. I mean, I can handle it. It's pretty funny. Like, it's maybe something I would do if I didn't like the person that was streaming. But I know we never trust Pitts, but I think, dude, Pitts actually looked good. he actually looked good. Like he was moving fast. He was looking kind of agile. Commanders for Thursday night. What's the line on that game, Jared? I haven't. Is it Packers -3? Haha, 24. Thank you. Have a great day. I'm gonna meet up with Snowman's girl. I'm thinking Snowman doesn't have a girl, unfortunately. If he's gonna come in and troll a small time channel's stream, I mean, it was entertaining, but like I'm guessing he doesn't have a girl. Although he might have my mom. So see, I can play into all this shit, bro. I'm good. I'm pretty quick-witted, son. What is the line though, Jared? Is it are you just saying you have him for like confidence pool, or do you like him with the line? Because I know they're not gonna be favored. I wonder if Snowman gave me a subscription. Oh my god, I have a spider hanging right next to me, dude. Holy shit. It's a gnarly looking one too. I'm gonna burn his ass, dude. I got a lighter right here. You want to die, bitch? Yeah, get fucked. Woo! Woo! I think I killed him. Snowman has a girl. Her name is Lefty. All right, we can kind of lay off Snowman. He's obviously having a bad day. You know, I'm not trying to. I don't like negativity, bro. Don't like it. I like fucking with people, so he fucked with me. That's cool. And well, apparently he's fucking with my mom. So good for you, brother. I'm proud of you. She is old, so she doesn't have a lot of options. She is still married to my dad, but you know, he's actually like Chuck Norris. He's 66 years old, so like I don't think you want to piss that dude off. He'd whoop my ass. I'm 37. He'd still whoop my ass. Could do 80 push-ups. We have anything else before I take off? I'm here for the people, boys. All the first-time viewers, Monster appreciates you. Hopefully you guys subscribe to the channel. Like I said, the quality is just going to keep on getting better. But that spider is having a bad... Dude, this thing was gnarly looking, bro. It was like colorful and, you know, maybe the size of a dime. But I don't know. Yeah, I live in a pretty old house, so like I'm used to spiders. I don't like killing them. I like sucking them up with the vacuum. We got Puka or JJ rest of the season. What's my thoughts? I think in terms of like points per game, I like Puka more, but that was concerning, dude. Like first game, he's already getting destroyed. That dude plays way too hard. There's no way Puka plays an entire season. I just at this point, and JJ's only had one injury, mark it down, one in his entire career, that hamstring 2 years ago. So JJ is the play rest of season. That's why he was drafted higher. Puka has more questions with health and Matt Stafford's health, which is tied to his production. So points per game, Puka. I would say JJ in terms of safety, and I'd rather have JJ. That's right, Steve. You exactly what I said, man. It's just watching. It's so hard if you're a Puka owner watching those games because like the dude, like Stafford throws hospital balls. He goes over the middle. He doesn't go down. He doesn't run out of bounds. He's blocking like a madman out there. So I respect it, bro. But like sometimes you gotta make the business decision to get down and not get concussions and get fucking injured. So it's just a risky play with Puka, but like he's gonna crush. I didn't draft Puka at all. I was drafting, unfortunately, Nico and London over him, and now fucking London's hurt. That looks like a mistake, but it's only been 1 week. And I'm not worried about Nico, dude. It's a frustrating, it's like certain players, right, that are injury prone, we hate watching because it's like, okay, Jalen Waddle's the number one example, and he's always hurt, right? Like he leaves, and same with T. Higgins. Like those dudes just come up lame on so many plays, and they always come back in the game. But yeah, Nico's fine, bro. Like that was a really the usage, and they don't really use them a lot creatively, and I thought that would increase this year. So, but he's been playing strict X receiver the last 2 years, and he's dominated. So I am not too worried about him. Tua is always hurt. Yeah. Well, Tua's done for fantasy. Unfortunately, like the only value Tua has to us in fantasy is the value of the players on his team, right? The A-chain value, the Waddle value, which isn't much, and the Tyreek value. So if you lose him, they're already depressed assets right now. It's going to be rough. All right, boys, I got to get off though. So I do appreciate everyone commenting in here. I hopefully you guys subscribe, the new guys to the channel, if you could. Yeah, fading the Dolphins, Steve, was a good call. We should have all done it. I got one Tyreek share. I have maybe 3 A chains. I'm not worried about A chain long term, but He has one best ball team with a Dolphin. Yeah, I mean, it's the only concern is possibly when they fire Mike McDaniel after week 3, things will get better because they can't get any worse. But I'm going to leave you with that, boys. Midnight tonight, if you guys want to come on. Again, almost every day I'm going to be doing these Q&As. I got a gambling show on Saturday night. We got Start Sit on Sunday morning. Pretty good schedule coming up, and the quality is only going to increase. So I do appreciate you guys, and we will see you next time. Thank you.